continuation of this theme that I've been doing at the moment, which is how to deal with morning anxiety so you can get more things done in your day. You can build confidence, you can accomplish your task, your goals, your responsibilities, your work, your career, relationships, and everything else. And I'll just start off this talk by saying thanks for all the support from all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It really helps me to grow this community so we can help more people that have got anxiety to build confidence. Also to accept their anxiety by talking about it and then working through it, and eventually, of course, overcoming it and having more confidence and enjoying life more, making positive changes and all those things and more. So, hopefully the lights are right here. Just a second. So, as I've said in the last talks, I really feel like the foundation of changing your life, building confidence, achieving goals, overcoming anxiety starts off in the morning. I've told this story many times and it is relevant to repeat it every now and then. I know for me, years ago, when I was really struggling with major anxiety, panic attacks, just struggling in every area of life, struggling to get out of bed and leave the house, the morning was probably the hardest time of the day to me, because when you wake up in the morning, it's the start of a new day, and all of your fears and your anxieties and your worries and your concerns, they hit you in the morning. And it's scientifically proven that's true. There's a certain part of our brain, I believe it's the amygdala, I could be wrong, but a certain part of our brain, it's a survival mechanism. So we've all got an automatic program, and you'll probably notice that if you just look at your life and the patterns that visits us in the morning. Now, of course, if you train your mind and you work at the things I'm teaching you and explaining today, you can overcome that program. You can build a new program where you wake up with better feelings in the morning, or worst case scenario, you're stronger. You've got tools where you can handle anxiety in the morning, which is why I said accepting anxiety in the morning. Facing fears consistently is how you build confidence, and how you change your life is building confidence. You can't really change your life without confidence, momentum, discipline, motivation, setting short-term goals and long-term goals. It's quite simple when you boil it down, but these are all things that you need: accountability, support, etc. So just like in boxing, there's different types of punches and combinations, but the actual fundamental basics is the jab. You learn that at the start. So if you can learn to get out of bed early, quicker, and take action on your responsibilities, all the little things like paying rent on time, things that you need. There's always things that we need to attend to: gas, electric, food, cleaning. And then you build onto your meetings, work, friends, and then you work on your training, your fitness, all the areas of life which make up a positive life, and all the habits and the little daily tasks which make up our life. And they also include things that we enjoy as well. So I see this as a whole thing. I don't see it as, well, just anxiety in the morning. I connect it onto everything, as I said, because when I was stuck in this place, I couldn't earn money, I couldn't get a job, I couldn't be around, especially new people, I couldn't get a relationship, I couldn't travel, I couldn't do the things I wanted to do in life, I couldn't do the things that, other people required me to do, because I was frightened of the morning, and the morning's the start of the day. And if you don't get up at an appropriate time and start the day, then you don't get anything done. So not only do you not get much done in your life, you waste your life and your time, you don't improve with your anxiety. Because all anxiety disorders, all of them, when you boil it down, all the different ones, all of them are, you overcome all of them by taking action on living, on committing to living your life. That's really what an anxious person's scared to do to begin with, or at any point. They're afraid of, of life. They're afraid of the unknown and moving forward and engaging with people, and etc. So if you can master the morning, which you can, all the other parts of the day are easier. Lunchtime, afternoon, evening, going to bed, and you get more done, and you have that discipline. And of course, one of you said yesterday, well, what about the afternoon? I said, you can practice it at any time, but the mornings is the start of the day. And if you can, there's things that you can do to see how you're improving. Just monitor your mood. If you can smile in the morning, or say hello to someone, or or be more engaging in life when you're brushing your teeth, then you're improving. And if you can get up earlier, you're improving. And if you can, go through that little transformation of, when we feel a bit tired, naturally, not as social, not in the mood, and then get in the mood, as the morning goes on. If you wake up at 8 in the morning, by the time 9 a.m. comes, you're in a better mood. So a lot of this is also about managing your mood, changing your mood. And when you've got bad anxiety, you're not in a good mood, obviously. Not feeling good, feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling frightened, lonely, on edge, all those sorts of things. So getting up in the morning and facing this anxiety every day, consistently, you will eventually overcome it, and it will give you confidence in all areas of life, in whatever that is. Because if you want to build a business, then you've got to face the fears of the mornings. Whatever you want to do, if you want to exercise and train, and I know sometimes I train different times, but you've got to get up in the morning. You've got to have a get up and go attitude. Can't wake up well, obviously you can. That's what people do until they want to change. And it's accepting as well the triggers. It's not saying, I don't want to have anxiety in the morning. Because as soon as and it's hard, I understand, for everyone, me included, and my clients, but as soon as you say, well, I really don't want to have anxiety in the morning, you get more anxiety. Anxiety works in that way. The more you say, I don't want it, the more you get. The more you don't accept it, the more you get. The more you try to push it away, the more you get. But the way that you overcome it is by accepting it. And accepting doesn't mean not doing anything. It doesn't mean that. It means not being afraid to be afraid of it and moving forward anyway. So acceptance could be, I'm going to accept tomorrow or this morning, right now this morning you might have high levels of anxiety, but I'm going to go to the gym anyway whilst I'm anxious, and I'm going to work out, I'm going to fight through it. And that's how you get over the anxiety long term. That's how you get more confident. Whether you get over it, which is what everyone wants, or you reduce it, or it no longer has a grip on you, because you're stronger than the anxiety, where you've trained your mind, your body, and your emotions. You've built that discipline from getting up early, from changing your mindset to wanting to avoid things, to wanting to face things. And then you get little things done throughout the day that give you strength. So you say, right, I'm going to pay, my rent needs to be paid. Make a list within a daily routine and a daily list. Rent needs to be paid. Need to go to the gym today. Got to work on my business, or sell a product, or I've got work at this time. When I finish work, gonna cook some healthy food. After that, meet a friend or a family member. So you start getting more activities done, and you enjoy your life more when you're busy, and then you haven't really got too much time to think about whether you've got anxiety or not, and it will either just go away naturally, or it will be there, but you'll be able to manage it and tolerate it. And sometimes that's even better. I know everybody wants to get rid of it because it feels good. Good morning, Timmy. It does feel such a relief when it goes, but sometimes in life, you need to learn to tolerate the anxiety when it's not going, because it doesn't always go. We've all got different triggers. Well, most people have got the same, but everyone's got areas where they get triggered more or less, etc. So it's learning how to build this discipline of getting up early, getting things done, and then once you have that, you can build on that, as I said, because years ago, I wanted to get a girlfriend, a relationship, I wanted to earn money, do a job that I enjoyed, I wanted to go and be a teacher, do public speaking and help people do what I'm doing now. I couldn't do it for a long time because the morning would always defeat me. I'd be frightened to death in the morning, and then I would put things off, stay in bed or stay at home all day, and maybe come out of the house once just to get a bit of takeaway food, then come back home. I was in a terrible place, so I know what that place is like. Until I decided I can't do this anymore, it's killing me. It gave me suicidal thoughts, to be honest. Manic depression. I just thought, I can't go on living like this. And I listened to Les Brown motivational message, and I prayed as well. I prayed to God, and I had a breakthrough, had a realization that things were going to change. I had a good feeling from listening to Les Brown. He inspired me and motivated me. And then I said, right, that's it now. There's no more protecting myself. From now onwards, I'm setting goals, and I'm going to face my fears every day for the rest of my life, for as long as I have to get over this fear and to change my life and to be happy, confident, be a better person, do the things that I know that I can do, and help other people. I was desperate to do what I love, which is to help other people who have anxiety, to build confidence, make the same changes that I did. You know, to be more fearless in life, to have more courage, to take things on instead of avoiding them. Because after a while, when you avoid things, it's just misery. You know what you're going to get. You never get to where you want to get to. You get a little bit of safety. You might feel safe for a while, and then you're depressed again. You feel terrible, and the cycle just starts over and over again. It's just a perpetuating cycle of being frightened, putting things off, getting depressed. I've been there. I understand it. Getting lonely, getting down, getting more frightened, listening to the anxiety, feeding the anxiety. Yeah, me too. Les Brown. He's got a really kind, comforting voice. He's he's a fantastic man. So things get better when you start to face your fears more, and your mind gets stronger, and your body, your emotions heal up more. You have better peace. All of it. It all kind of fixes itself. But it takes time. But you can make progress every single day. There's a lot of hours in the day, 24. We usually sleep, what do we sleep on average? Between 6 to 8. Some people maybe less, maybe more. Well, you got about 15, 25, let's say 15, 16 hours left to play with. Some people go work for 8 hours, that leaves 8 hours. There's still another 8 hours spare. 4 hours a day, you could use that to work on your life, your goals, your dreams, your responsibilities, your disciplines. You can make so much progress. And as I said, it's not about comparing yourself to other people. Everyone's on their own journey at different stages. You've got to compare yourself to where you are and where you're improving. And that is a daily improvement. So I think with anxiety, you've got to make it a life ambition to overcome it. But also not in a way where it's wearing you down, but where it's making you enjoy life. You have your life as well, but you've really got to commit. Otherwise, nothing will change. Because it is a very, very stubborn pattern that people get stuck in, and I've been stuck in that myself, so I understand it and broken out, and I've helped thousands of clients over the years to break out of that cycle of the grip of anxiety when people can't really live their life. I've been there, where they won't go to the gym. I understand it because just can't do it. They can do it, but they believe they can't. Scared of people, scared of life, scared of the anxiety triggers. That is the main thing. It's the external triggers that get triggered. Internal, when you do external things. You know, afraid to go out the house, shame, all of that comes with it, with anxiety, guilt, panic, worry, not trusting anybody. All those fears are normal with anxiety until you overcome it, make progress. Not doing things that you know that you should do. Little things, might even be little things like sometimes people won't take a shower. I've been there when I was younger, not because people are not clean, scared. Just don't want to unsettle their nerves, their feelings. That's a good point, Timmy. I kind of agree with you. So, as I said, if you can practice this, you will see how other areas will start to fix themselves. And if you're good in the morning, then you've got a much greater chance at overcoming your social anxiety, your fears of people. And then you've got a much greater chance at overcoming your financial fears. And then you've got a much greater chance at overcoming your health fears with your fitness, your health, your dieting, all the main areas in life. It's not really that complicated when we think about it. We're all human, we're all the same. We all kind of want the same thing: good health, enough money to live on, good relationships, some good confidence, all the areas: career, relationships, and health. They're kind of like three main areas that I mentor clients in. and they're the areas that you change your life in. Anything outside of that is a bonus. What bonuses are there? Like hobbies, activities, language, sports, those things can be included, and sometimes that's in your career. So you set goals, you set long-term goals, and getting up in the morning is part of the daily discipline that helps you to eventually build the confidence, the discipline, the stamina, and the skills, and the life skills, and the mindset, and the belief to accomplish the goals that you deserve to accomplish, whatever they are. They're going to be in one of those areas, as I've said, for most people. It's either going to be in career, it's going to be in relationships, it's going to be in health, or it's going to be in creativity, or for you it might be all of them. When I was starting out, I was failing in every area. I wasn't successful in any area because I didn't take any action. I weren't really living, I was existing. But they were my three main goals. As I said, I wanted to fall in love and get a loving relationship with my ideal woman. I wanted to have my own business, be my own boss, have enough money, and I wanted to help people. I wanted to be a public speaker, a little bit like what Les Brown was doing, but in my own way. I wanted to coach people because I loved helping people even from a young age. And I was able to accomplish that in about a 2-month period, maybe 2 years and a bit, or maybe a bit less. Obviously, don't compare to me, we're all different, I'm just sharing my story. And the way I'd done that was through daily discipline. I had my long-term goals, which I knew weren't going to happen overnight. I knew I wasn't going to build a successful business in a weekend. And I knew that I wasn't likely to get a girlfriend in a week. And I wasn't likely to have the confidence to go on stage and do talks and have a business. But I knew I could get there. And I worked at it daily. I worked on my daily goals of taking steps towards increasing my chances of getting a girlfriend, a relationship, and increasing my chances of improving my income, and increasing my chances of getting over a lot of social anxiety that I had. So, and then obviously at a different time in my life, different times I overcame my fears of training. I did boxing as an amateur for several years, and I also did bodybuilding. I've kind of mixed the two together, fluctuated, and it gave me a lot of confidence because I didn't used to have confidence to go anywhere in public, couldn't go to gyms, couldn't meet new people, couldn't get on planes, couldn't go on a first date to save my life, couldn't go to job interviews. I wanted to do these things. I was petrified. I was so frightened of getting nervous in front of people and embarrassing myself, and I was scared of anxiety. I didn't like the feelings. I didn't have the tolerance at the time to just be able to sit with anxiety and not let it completely dominate me and stop me from communicating. So I was afraid to communicate with myself and with others because I was scared that I would, get anxious in front of people and they would see me nervous and have a low opinion of me, and I didn't like the feelings of anxiety. But I got to a point where I realised that I had to face those feelings. I had to change my mindset. I had to change my relationship with those feelings. And those feelings always came very strong first thing in the morning when I woke up. And obviously in the night time as well, I couldn't always sleep. And sometimes during the sleep, the panic, the breathing, and throughout the whole day it could be the whole day I'd have it, anxiety, strong anxiety, panic, the whole is exhausting. But like I said, there was always something about the mornings that I changed it. I used to say, I hate the morning. I hate waking up in the morning. And I used to think, how am I going to get out of this? Because, every day is a new day. And if I can't enjoy the morning, then I kind of can't enjoy my whole life. I can't just eradicate the morning. Obviously I could sleep in, but at some point I've got to change my relationship with the morning. And I realize this isn't just about the morning. The morning represents life. It represents many things. It represents fear of the unknown, fear of enjoying life, fear of trusting people, fear of all these things. Loving relationship with family. It encompassed all those things, and I realised that at some point, even when I was a lot younger, and ignorant in many ways, and quite unintelligent in other ways, quite uneducated, but also intelligent in other ways too. I realised that what's going on here, where this pattern comes from, fear of confrontation. And for most people, I'd say the origin of most of the fear, I can't say all of it for certain, but most of it came from bullying, bad experiences in childhood when I was younger, physical bullying, verbal bullying, psychological bullying, a combination of all. It put so much fear into me. So when I woke up in the morning, it was like it triggered the fear of something bad happening or bullying happening in some sort of way. My anxiety was bullying me even more. So it was like I didn't want to deal with it. It's like that one bully at school that you want to hide from. You know, you ask your friends. I used to do it. I used to say, "Is so and so there? I don't want to see him. I don't want to see that person. Can you check for me? Because I don't want him to start on me." And I'd run round, go around a different route at school, or leave school when the bell went, run home to avoid the bully. And avoiding the bully feels like a good solution at the start because you get the relief of getting out of the confrontation that he or she or they are going to cause for you. But long term, it affects you because it's beating you, it's scaring you, it's controlling you. You're allowing it to. You can't live your life. You're in too much fear. A healthy amount of fear is beautiful, normal, but too much fear is not normal. It's not good. And I'm not saying anyone's not normal if they haven't got healthy amounts of fear. You're normal, but your levels of fear are unhealthy, anxiety, which is why we learn. We get therapy, mentors like myself, Les Brown, friends, family, routine, positive habits. These are the things that start building confidence. So I learned as well at a certain point in school, I had to stand up to bullies. I got to a point where my back was against the wall, was no choice. And that's when I got my strength back and they stopped the bullying and I felt more confident and then the fear eventually went away. So if you keep standing up to fear, it will eventually go away. Anxiety, all these fears. Some fears can go away quickly, some fears are stubborn, they take longer, which is fine. Anxiety generally takes longer. If you've got major anxiety disorder, it's going to take some time. But you can really improve it on a day-to-day basis, as I've said. 3 different areas I like to explain to people. Usually at the start of anxiety, people can't fully get rid of it. It's not possible at the start, it takes time, but they can manage it. They can learn to build like a different compartment in your body. So you have where you're frightened, but you can design and build another part of you which is strong. Almost like a parent, I guess, which can oversee and overmanage the fearful part of you. That's scared to death, that's sensitive, that worries a lot, that overthinks, that catastrophizes. You can manage that part of you and you move forward in life until you gain more confidence, a different perspective on yourself, life and anxiety. Then the anxiety starts to lighten and then you won't even realize that it's gone or it's so mild that it doesn't bother you. So there's either management, getting rid of it, or dealing with it periodically, or channeling your anxiety into excitement. Sometimes when you've got a lot of anxiety, it's because you need to go to the gym, people need to exercise, or they need a good conversation, not small talk, a real genuine conversation where you're not protecting yourself, obviously with someone that you trust and connect with, whoever that may be. And they can talk with you. A real good conversation will wipe out the majority of the sort of bulk of anxiety that people are carrying in their mind, their body, that they're dealing with, their breathing. Your breathing gets lighter. I've basis with clients. When I do client sessions, of course, at times clients are anxious and stressed, stress of business, of life, relationships, fears, challenges they have throughout their day, and sit down over coffee, so get it all out, speak it, get everything out that's bothering you, everything that you're feeling, you're worried about, have a conversation. I'm not going to interrupt, go for it. And have good relationship with my clients. And they'll get it all out and then they'll go, oh, I feel better now. Of course you feel better because you got it out. It's therapy. You have someone to talk to. And I might get some of my stuff out. It makes people feel that we're all the same. And then you can go from there when you're lighter. So it's a discipline every day. Let's say every day you woke up and you're carrying a lot of heavy weight, but as you get out of bed and you walk, the weight that you're carrying begins to get lighter, and eventually, you get all the weight off you. And that's very, very similar analogy with anxiety. And as I said, there's only a certain amount of simple ways to combat anxiety daily. And I teach all these ways, and in no chronological order. The first way is to get out of bed early. The second way is to communicate with people. Authentic, genuine, real, heartfelt, vulnerable, not perfect conversations with people. That's the second option, the way that works. And the third way is exercising. And whatever exercise you do, they all have really the same effect. Again, it's all about what one you resonate with, but the principle's the same. If you go and do a run for an hour and you're knackered, you get rid of your anxiety, you have less. If you go swimming and you put effort in, your anxiety will go, it will have less. If you go and do a boxing workout, it will go. Weights can do it. I find weights is probably the least effective for me personally out of all the exercises in terms of anxiety. I love weight training, by the way. I love bodybuilding. I think it's amazing and I do it as part of my regime. But for getting rid of anxiety, I found that cardiovascular is more effective, where you're sweating, heart rate, boxing, running, cycling, swimming, either one, or hill sprints, something where your heart's going up, you're burning calories, and then you get that euphoric feeling, you feel peaceful. So talking, socializing, exercising, having a daily regimen of getting up, these things combat anxiety. And of course, having support from mentors, the most effective. Whether you do therapy, CBT therapy works, my mentorship works, which is a combination of everything: life coaching, confidence coaching, anxiety coaching, therapy. I've got my own style that I've built over 12 years. Things that I've learned from my own teachings, and some things that I've learned from other mentors that everybody sort of that are quite similar to CBT. Goal setting, accountability. So all these things, accountability works over time. Accountability can just be as simple as saying, how do I feel today compared to how I feel last week? I feel a bit better today. That's accountability. You're making progress. And you can also have more strict accountability, where you've got a coach to write goals down and say, right, what is one of the ways that I can measure whether I'm improving with my anxiety, my courage, my fears, my confidence building, my resilience? Well, a way that you can measure that is by how much can you get done? How much action are you taking? And as I said, at the start of my journey, I weren't taking any action. So I knew that I weren't making progress. It was obvious. But when I started to take a lot of action, I knew I was making progress, because you're getting more things done. So you can measure your progress and your improvement several really simple ways. In no chronological order, if you're working with a teacher or a mentor, and they're a good teacher, most teachers are, they'll tell you the truth. You can ask them, am I improving? And they'll say, yes, you are. You are a bit less anxious than you were last session or last month. You're getting stronger, or you're handling it better. So they can verbally tell you. That's accountability. Another way is by writing things down and looking at how much you're getting done. So if you make a to-do list today of 5 things that you want to get done, and you get all those 5 things done, then you can see that you're making progress. So you can measure your progress with your anxiety recovery based on how much action you can take. That's one of the most straightforward ways of doing it. Because a lot of people will say, well, I've got anxiety and it holds me back from doing things I want to do. I'd like to go gym, but I'm too scared to go gym. I'd like to travel, but I can't travel. I'd like to make a YouTube video or a live stream, but I'm not able to do it. So if you wrote those things down, things that you want to do that you're scared to, and you've done them, then that's obviously progress. And confidence comes from taking consistent action. And that's the same as building a habit every day. So, there's only so many ways which is good. This stuff is that you measure your improvement, and that's the good thing. A lot of this is simple when you boil it down. When you get out of your head, which starts off by getting out of bed early, and you just start all the little activities. I'm just going to run through this just to give people more of an idea, right, to really simplifies it. Because I know sometimes these things take time for you to really understand it in your own mind, in your own body. So a great day for someone who's got anxiety at any level, and I also want to include this the teachings that I'm sharing and offering and my coaching, it's not just for people that have got anxiety, it's for anybody that wants to build confidence in life. Anyone can benefit from this, because people that don't have major anxiety, they still have anxieties, they've still got fears. And I've mentored clients that they don't have an anxiety disorder, as a lot of my other clients do and as I did, but they've got lots of fears in their life. You know, they've got fears of many things: public speaking, of what people think about them, money, public speaking, many other fears, relationship fears, etc. So this, just to explain, anyone can benefit from this. So an anxiety sufferer generally struggles, the whole day. So a good day would be to wake up, get out of bed as quick as you can. Within sort of 5 minutes, 10 max, get out of bed, brush your teeth, have a shower, put clean clothes on. Brilliant, that's a great step. The next step would be to leave the house. Get out the house ASAP, don't stay in the house too long. Go to a local coffee shop. When you're ordering your coffee, whoever's serving you, whether it's a gentleman, lady, or sometimes two people, they'll make the coffee, whatever. Be polite, good morning. How's your day going so far? Thank you, thanks for the coffee. Use good manners, be friendly with people. These little things make a massive difference, because it's good to be friendly anyway, whether you've got anxiety or not, but it's also great practice for people that are very introverted and anxious. I was the same years ago. My parents brought me up really well with good values and respect. I was a kind person, but I was well mannered, but I couldn't all speak to people. I wanted to, I was so scared, so nervous. I didn't want to make others feel uncomfortable, because I was uncomfortable. I was too sensitive. I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I didn't want to get awkward. So I couldn't always communicate, and it was heartbreaking. Not just for me, but the fact that I wanted to be more friendly to people, more loving, which is a nice thing, and I couldn't do it in that particular time and the space I was in, because I was in so much pain. And it just felt so awkward, and I was overthinking too much. So when I started to break those patterns, it was amazing. It's like coming out, it's like breaking out of a mental and emotional prison, which it is for a lot of people. It definitely is. So by getting up early, showering, going for a coffee shop, and saying hello in the morning, you've already taken a lot of good steps. And it may sound simple to someone who don't have anxiety, but as you know, they don't understand what it's like. If they've never had major anxiety and really had a problem, a mental problem is, then you can forgive them in the knowledge that they don't know what it's like, because they haven't experienced it. Once you've done that, you've gotten up early, you've gone for a coffee, you're in the habit of asking the person serving you how your day is, then you can work on the next task. The next task could be, now you go to work, you've gone to work with a better attitude, or you go to the gym, or if you haven't got work, or you're not working at the moment, you've got a day off, you're running a business, you work on other things that you want to get done. Can you see how this works? So it's building up small, simple, daily habits or tasks every single day, which eventually add up to a full life, a full day. And as you get more confident and you get used to doing these habits, you add more habits on. I've said it before, this wouldn't make sense to a lot of people. Some people it would. I was able to do public speaking because I was able to do small habits, like getting up early, like tidying, like asking someone how their day is when they're serving me. Little things that used to give me a lot of stress and anxiety. When I got those things done, they gave me more confidence and strength and courage to dare myself to go on and take on big fears like public speaking. But if I didn't do all these little things, I wouldn't have had the confidence. I wouldn't have done public speaking. No way would I have done it. And and then being able to go on a first date was a big deal for me. For a lot of people, it is, men and women who've got anxiety disorders and shy. It was terrifying going on a date. I was frightened to death. But going on a date, actually, doing boxing was so more frightening in many ways, in a different way. Definitely more frightening than first dates. But boxing as an amateur was so frightening for a period but it gave me so much confidence that going on a date wasn't as bad as I thought in public speaking. So each thing you face, no matter how small or big, helps you to face the next thing. And that's kind of, how the day works. You're welcome, Mitch. Yeah, you guys and girls are welcome to get questions in or add to the conversation, what you resonate with, anything that you're struggling with, the progress that you're making. Just join the stream. It's for everybody. You can just talk, communicate. So that's why I do go over the same things a lot, because you've got to repeat these things until you get them and practice them. And I'm not just talking about repeating things until you get it where you go, well, Jonathan said you should get up early because that's good for anxiety, and then you should go gym and be, have good manners with people. Yes, that's right. But I want you to do it. You're not going to change if you don't do it. It's a behavioral therapy. It is, where you've got to take action. In most of this, not all of it, but the majority of anxiety healing, confidence building, they're really the same. When you're building confidence, you're healing your anxiety. Works hand in hand. You can't improve your anxiety without increasing your confidence and self-esteem. The two go hand in hand. That's why I've always been passionate about the two key words, fear and confidence, or anxiety and confidence, because both were important to me growing up. I lacked confidence. I was dying to have it. I wanted to install it in others, but my anxiety was so high and strong at periods, I didn't have the strength to build it and go after, life, take action. So real understanding is application, is doing. So of course, by all means, the start of information is listening, taking it in intellectually, analysing it, processing it. But when someone says something and you know it's true, you feel it, and that nothing can really go against that. Your instincts tell you. Same way when I listened to Les Brown, I knew what he was saying was true, and I knew that it was true for me, and I knew that I had to apply it if I wanted to change my life, and I knew that it would work. I knew it wouldn't be easy, because he was honest about that, but I knew that I could do it, and that's what I'd done, and it worked out really well. So what I'm saying to you definitely works, 100%. But you've got to work it. You've got to put it into action, and you've got to stick with it. Do you want to get some questions just to break this talk up? Any of you want to share some thoughts on what I've said? Oh, great. So Matthew says the relationship between confidence and anxiety is fascinating. ASD here, and it totally makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Because you know what I've learned? Everybody, and especially people that have got anxiety, they do have confidence. Everyone's got confidence. Everyone has. But if you don't, basically, confidence is within. And if you don't exercise your confidence or your courage, then it appears like you don't have it because you're lacking in confidence. It doesn't mean you don't have it. So lacking in confidence doesn't mean that a person doesn't have any at all. That's impossible. That's extreme. But people will start to believe that, of course, negative thoughts. So the confidence is there. I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger there. When I was younger, I knew I had it, which used to make me a bit confused and frustrated, and sometimes sad, but sometimes it would make me feel good. I knew I had it deep down. I was afraid of it. People are scared of it. So people are scared of not having any confidence and not feeling good enough, but they're also scared of having it, of becoming confident and exercising, I would say, courage first. Again, we can't alleviate the word courage. So if I can get my breath, let me always important tip. Sometimes this happens out of nowhere. These traumas can come anytime when you change your brain. I'm going through some stuff at the moment, grieving. So I'm going to breathe, all this tightness is coming. This is an exercise to have courage to stop for a second. Oh, this is great. This is a good sign. If you're in therapy and you're working on things, it will come up every now and then. And it's good to be aware of it, because mine's been clear for a while, but I expect it of the grief I'm going through. And, you know, the stresses that we're all under. So anxiety can come up. And that's where we practice some of the breathing right now, right? Mindfulness time. So didn't even have a coffee this morning, just as well. This is where the running's really good for me as well, because when I go running, I'm practicing my breathing, and the breathing that you're doing when you're exercising, you take that into your life. And that's why this comes up every now and then. If the body's telling you, hold on a minute, there's some anxiety here, there's some pain and trauma, you need to process it. That's a good thing. A lot of people, I've been there, they get embarrassed to show it, but it's getting over that. And that will not in a way that's bragging, but people will really respect that, and so will I. When you've got the courage to say, hang on a minute, I've got to call out my anxiety. I can't breathe properly. I don't want to suffocate. I don't think you lot want me to suffocate. Well, maybe some people do out there. Most of you don't. So I'm going to stop for a bit and breathe. And it's also talking about these meaningful things. Sometimes talking about these things brings stuff up. Right, so, you know, anxiety, confidence and courage. For those people that say, well, I don't have any confidence, Jonathan, can't do things right now. You're right, I accept that, but you have got courage. You don't need confidence to have courage initially. When I started out, as I said, I had confidence deep down, but I didn't believe it enough. Look at it. You know, like if someone says, well, you've got two people, one's qualified and very educated in business, so they're going to start a business. They've got more confidence because they're educated. They went business school. Maybe they got parents that have given money, invested money in, so they've got financial security to start their business. Where another person's got no money, no investments, no financial backing, and they've got no business experience. So they're terrified, scared to death, they're shameful, they're fearful, they're comparing themselves to the other person. But what they do have is courage. Courage is something that's always valuable. You don't need to be qualified to have courage. You can have nothing. Just as long as you're living and breathing, you've got courage. So let's just play a little game here. I sound like the Joker then. All these movies from Batman. I'm not trying to be. So you've got two people, and let's say they're both competing. One's got money in the bank, so ain't got to worry. Let's say you've got 50,000 to invest in a business. Got a business idea. Is educated on business, and the other one's got no education but got a dream. So if it's me personally, I'll just go, right, well, he or she's got more experience than me. I haven't got experience, and they've got money. I haven't got any money. I'm broke. But what I know, what I've got courage. I'm relentless. I'm not going to quit. I don't care if I fail 100 times. I don't care if I get humiliated. I'm not quitting. I don't care if I'm homeless. I'm not quitting until I'm got no breath. I'm going to keep taking action. I'm going to learn through trial and error, through failing. So I'm just going to start the business. I'm going to start practicing public speaking. I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to practice selling. I'm going to do 100 sales calls a day so I can overcome my fear of people, money, rejection, selling, responsibility, new conversations. I'm going to go at it, man. I'm not going to quit. And through that process, I'm going to gain confidence. And that confidence is going to also give me wisdom and experience. And as I'm going to go along, I'm going to educate myself about business through taking action. So I'm not going to waste time reading too many books. I might read a book at some point just to sharpen up. But I'm going to learn the basics of business. Let's start off on the basics of any business. Business is about finding a market that needs, supply and demand. So let's say, for example, there's a huge market for coffee. Millions all around the world, people drink coffee. They value coffee. They pay for it. They spend their hard money on coffee. So I go, right, I'm going into the coffee shop business. I'm going into coffee. So I know there's a market for it. That is the start of the business. I'm going to write that down on my sheet. The market I'm going into is coffee. Right, now I'm going to work on the product. I need to look at the market. I need to look at what other companies are doing. See what coffee they're making, see how they're doing. I want to come up with my own coffee. I don't want to copy other people. I want to be authentic. I want to have my own brand of coffee that no one can get anywhere other than from my company, my business. And I want to think of the customer. I want a genuine product. I don't want bullcrap people. I don't want tricks and all that stuff. I'm not into that stuff. Where some people are into that. That's the way they go about it. I'm not about that. I'm not about tricking people and all these tricks and all that and scams. I don't want that. I don't need to do that. I want a good product. It's honest. People are going to love it. They're going to pay for it. They're going to value it. And at the start, to get the business rolling, I'm going to give some free tasters. I'm not going to charge for the first part. I'm going to do some free tasters. Say, I've got this new coffee. Do you want to give it a try? I'm going to give a certain amount out, whether I do that on the street or whether I set up a website. I'm going to set up a YouTube channel as well. I'm going all out, fearless, nothing to lose. So I'm going to get my YouTube channel and I'm going to make money a bit later on, but I'm going to use what I've got. So I haven't got much money, but I've got time, heart and courage, and I've got the passion to help people and have a great time. And when you've got that energy, most people love you. They will buy it. Because you've got a good product, they like you, they trust you, you're genuine, you're sincere, and you're working your nuts off. You ain't quitting. I'm not quitting. I'm willing to go through hell and back. So maybe the other person might not be willing to go through the things that you and I are willing to go for because they've got financial security and because they're very educated on business. I'm not saying that doesn't mean they're not hungry. We're just playing a little game for an analogy. And we're explaining the value of courage. That you don't need anything to have courage. It's the courage to exercise it. So you can get someone that's very educated. They've read loads of business books. They've been to business school. They're super intelligent intellectually. They've got great savings. Good luck to them. Their parents have given them money or they've invested in money. They've got some good ideas. They've got a sharp business mind, but they don't have any courage. They care too much what people think. They're too ashamed. They don't want to lose their position of status, so they won't get on the phone and sell. Too much overthinking. Where someone, a Braveheart, a William Wallace, for example, has got nothing to lose, already ashamed, already feel like a loser, ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. So that sort of drive and humility will take you to different levels, especially when you put people first, which is one of the biggest tips in business, in the right way. That doesn't mean that you ruin your mental health and you let people walk all over you. That's not it. There's a nice balance. You look after people and you put them first in your business and you enjoy helping people and your business starts to grow because people start to talk about your business. Oh, I bought something from that business, that person. They're actually really good. They're nice people, and their coffee is amazing. Their brand. They tell oh yeah, you should try it. Their friend tries it. They tell their friend tells their friend. Word of mouth. The business starts growing. So I learned all these things. I wasn't educated on business, and my parents are not business people as such. And I didn't have any money when I started, but I had passion. I had a goal. I had a dream. I was motivated and I knew I believed in myself. Even when I didn't believe in myself, I still believed in myself. So all this come from getting the mornings handled, getting that discipline, that routine and building on that. And then later on, anything that I didn't know in business, I educated myself and I read books or I listened to other people that knew a bit more than me and I got mentors and learned, but mostly through taking action. And it's common sense. It's business is people. It's if you're a person, think about yourself. Think about the way that you buy things. I know, look, I'm not gonna, if someone's not genuine and they're messing me around, I'm not going to buy from them. I'm not into that stuff. If a brand is appalling, I might buy it, try it, and say that's not for me. I'm not going to buy it again. But if the people are good and the brand's good and they're good people, and I love the product, so I buy it for life. I'm a loyal customer. So it's understanding yourself more and the basic fundamentals. So that's a lesson on business for all of you. And I wanted to really make you understand the value of courage of discipline, of routine, and how it can just go from strength to strength. Matthew says true situation-specific confidence, courage can do amazing things nobody else can, but get anxiety for common stuff that I'm not confident, especially social stuff. Talk to me more about that, Matthew. Let's see if we can give you some tips right now. Thanks for sharing that. And all of you can interrupt me anytime, go for it. So the discipline of doing simple things consistently builds massive. I think a lot of people overcomplicate confidence, they overcomplicate changing their life, and they think that it has to be something that is almost outside of the realms of human understanding. And it's not, it's the opposite. That's anxiety tricking you. Anxiety will play those tricks on you, make you believe that going to the gym is not going to work. I've had it with clients. Again, it's not personal, this is people challenging. Oh yeah, but I say, look, I promise you, if you go to the gym, it's going to fix pretty much all the financial, many things. I'm not saying that it's going to take every single ache and pain away, but eventually it will. It will help you massively because it will give you the confidence that you need. It will give you the tools that you need, all of it, the mindset, the social skills, the emotional management to deal with anger, shame, all the human emotions that challenge us, all the emotions that eventually always come up in relationships, especially in intimate, to be able to handle these emotions in the right way without losing your temper and then ruining relationships, which is what at some point we've all done, right? We'll forgive ourselves. None of us are perfect. Stress can do that. You want to practice the opposite. If you find yourself, which people always are, especially anxiety sufferers, I have that pattern, I'm aware of it, working through it. If you're a perfectionist, you really want to start getting out of that, because that can literally just kill your mental health and your dreams. So it's good to want to do things well. There's a lot of good in that, and it's good to say, I want to think about things, I want to do them well. That's actually having a good attitude in life. It's good to show up, put effort in your appearance, in communicate well in your life. It is good, but there's a balance in everything. It's not good if it's the extreme where you can't, you are philosophizing deep psychoanalysis for things that are simple, like just getting up and brushing your teeth or paying the rent, watering the plants. You don't need deep psychoanalysis to do these things. Actually, that ruins it. You need to let go of that. And you don't need deep psychoanalysis to socialize. A lot of people think they do. You don't. You actually don't. I'm going to challenge that belief. In most areas, you don't. That's anxiety. That's the fear of wanting to control things. And we've all got that to a certain degree. All of us have, until obviously we improve it. So you don't need psychoanalysis to socialize. You need psychoanalysis if you're a psychologist, I guess, or a psychiatrist. But even that, there's a point where that has to be switched off, because that feeds anxiety. The more you analyze, the more anxiety you have, the less you enjoy your life. So the more confidence you gain, the less you think. And that's why we admire people that don't think too much. They speak their mind. They act quicker, faster, more effective. Let's say you're managing a team in business. You've got a team of people together. Let's say we're a team, right? All of us are a team on this stream. We're running a business together. Let's say Matthew's the manager, right? And let's say Matthew's the manager. Timmy and Mitch are the next managers down, and I'm the worker, right? My position is the lowest position, but we're all important, right? And Matthew gives me orders. Jonathan, can you make that call? We've got a prospect client that you need to call and try and follow up on. Now, the way that I'm going to be effective is, yes, Matthew, I'm on it. Give me the phone number, the information. Right, that's the number. Right, press the phone. Good afternoon, sir. How's your day? Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Jonathan. I'm calling from so and so company. I want to sell you something. It will change your life. It will lower your blood pressure. I'm having a bit of fun. Straight to the phone call, straight in. Not all this analysis. Oh, okay, I will do the phone call, but give me 6 hours. I'm going to think about it. It's gonna ruin the business. It's gonna ruin everyone's mental health. And I'm not putting people down. Really explaining how it works. I've been there. I've worked in companies, as you can tell, and I've ran a business and coached others and worked with people, etc. So fast is better. Now, of course, within doing things quick, you want to do it to a good level. That comes with experience. But the quicker you do it, the better. If it goes wrong, it's fine. Brilliant. It's totally fine. It's part of life. Learn, move on. Next phone call. So quicker is better. Less anxiety. The faster you are, you don't even experience anxiety. Anxiety is experienced from stopping, thinking, analyzing, judging yourself, judging others, comparing, going over and over and over and over to the past, to the future, giving it unnecessary meaning, when really it's a phone call. You're phoning someone and seeing if they're interested in business. Or if you're working with someone that already bought your products, you're phoning to help the person with what you've agreed to help them with. Education, a service is simple. But when you let anxiety get in the way, anxiety complicates everything. It makes everything too deep, too philosophical, too much analysis. Then paralysis comes, and then people procrastinate. Of course you're going to procrastinate. When you're thinking about something for 3 hours, it's exhausting, wipes you out. So acting quicker builds confidence and better mental health. We're on a roll today. Think less makes sense. Want to do, I'm a data analyst, awesome. It's hard to turn off. Simple tasks must overanalyze. Tips for getting out of analysis paralysis, practice it daily. Another tip is speak quicker, think less. I've had it with clients. We've all done it. I've done it too. I can see the improvement. Next time you're in a conversation, say what's on your mind quicker to the person that you're talking with. And of course you can be respectful and kind. Don't go over in your head, oh, if I say that to my friend, let me think about that 20 times and then I'm gonna get the words out quicker. Exercising is great for that. Sprinting, boxing, same with boxing. If you're working out on the punch bag, instead of thinking too much and going, well, I'm a bit embarrassed, I'm not as good as Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali's better than me, Mayweather's better than me, the YouTuber online's better than me, everyone's going to laugh at me, I'm no good, how do I throw the jab again? Just throw it. Just throw it badly. Do it, but just do it. Keep doing it. You'll learn as you go along. Stop thinking, just do it. Boom, 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 boom. Even if you hit the bag terrible, if it looks it's better to do it. You'll get better as you go along. But sitting there and thinking, people go in the gym, I see it, I've done it. So not judging, we're helping it. They sit in the gym and they're just looking at the weights. They're scared. They're overthinking about lifting a dumbbell. Who's watching me? I need to be perfect. It's torture. It's self-punishment torture. Just walk over, breathe, pick up the weights, lift the weights, start. So it's moving quicker. The quicker you move, the less you think. And over time, you train your mind to think quicker. You train your body to react quicker. And then you've got a better relationship. And when you're focused and you're thinking less, no anxiety. Most anxiety is experienced because people are focusing on their anxiety and they're focusing on their negative thoughts and they're feeding their negative thoughts and they're fighting with their mind with all the conversations. Past, present, future. So when you take action, you get present and all these things. And they're all simple, as I said. They're very simple. And they start off when you wake up in the morning and, you take them everywhere. So that's one of the ways that I can always tell when my clients are improving, when their anxiety is going down, their confidence is going up and their whole life is improving. I can tell by when we sit down and they communicate. Can see it in people's faces, can see it in their eye contact, the way they communicate, how they feel the atmosphere, and they communicate quicker. They get to the point quicker. So let's say, for example, we've all done it again. There's no judging here, only learning. We've all had a time, right? We've all had a time where something's bothering us and we want to tell our mum or our dad or someone close to us, and we go, we're in the same room as them, but we're scared to say it, we're not getting it out. We could be on with our clients, whoever it may be. For example, we've got a financial problem and it's bothering us. We're worried about money, we're stressed, and we feel ashamed and we feel burdened and trapped. We need to talk to someone to get that fear out. So instead of saying, well, have you watched the football? How's the weather? All the small talk, which is all not relevant in this moment, just get straight to it and say, look, do you mind at the moment? I'm really worried about money. I'm struggling with money and it's affecting my mental health. It's making me feel manically depressed and scared. I need to just get off my chest and talk to someone. And that person usually would go, no, I totally understand. We've all been there. We've all struggled with money at some point. People can relate. And when you're that sincere, usually it brings the best out in people. So getting to the point of the problem will solve it quicker. And then you go, I feel better now. I don't feel embarrassed or ashamed. Usually the other person will say, well, I've had problems with money before. You get over it and then you figure a way out. But if you keep it in and you are analysing, should I say it? What they're going to think about me? What feelings are going to come up? You struggle more. So confidence is the ability to even talk about an insecurity quicker, to call it out, and then you overcome it. You get stronger. Thank you, Andrew Church. I really appreciate the live streams. At the moment, Andrew, I'm doing them daily, right? There might be some days that I can't do them because obviously I don't know how long you've been following me. I'm running a business, I've got clients and other things, but I'm always consistent with the live streams. So it will either be daily or several times a week. Appreciate you coming. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Really grateful if you're getting a lot of confidence and insight and help. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jonathan and I mentor people. I'm mainly in the area of confidence, discipline, and helping people that have got anxiety, especially to change their life. Right. Tips for waking up early in the morning. I would say program your mind the day before. So make a plan of it. Write down in your phone, I want to get up early tomorrow at this time. That is a great start. So write it down, make that vow and that goal, and just sort of before you go to bed, not in a pressured way, try and wind down and relax, and try to get your mindset in the night before you sleep in the mindset of, I'm gonna face the morning. I'm not gonna have that relationship where I'm dreading the morning. I don't want to get up in the morning. It's going to be difficult. Start to stop that conversation and say, look, I'm accepting myself. It might feel awful in the morning. It's okay. I'm going to get up anyway. And if it takes me a while, that's fine. Patience. There's no failure here, only learning. That can really help, Matthew. And I would also say having something to look forward to in your day, because I know that I can get up easier in the morning if I'm looking forward. I've got a client today, so I look forward to waking my client at 2 o'clock. And I was looking forward to doing this live stream last night. So I had goals for today that I set last night that gave me more motivation to want to get up early in the morning and get more things done. So that can really help. If I've understood your question, Matthew, waking up earlier than absolutely necessary seems unnecessary. Not quite sure what you meant there. If you could explain the question. I think, did you mean getting up earlier than you usually do is unnecessary? It can be, you're right. It depends on the balance. You can take anything to the extreme. So some people might hear this and go, well, Jonathan said you got to get up early, so I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock every morning, and I didn't say that. I mean, you can do that, but we want to put things into a healthy balance. Anything that you take to the extreme is going to be incorrect. So if you said to yourself that I can never ever have a day where I lie in, that's going to take things too far. But generally, consistently, if you get up earlier, if you get up early, whether that's 6 in the morning, 7, 8, 9, 10 still fine, things are going to go well. And I'm also stressing the point for people that have got bad anxiety in the morning, I'm teaching them how to overcome that. So that's really my point. But generally, if you look at any sort of all the advice out there, whether you go down in my industry of, mentorship coaching, life coaching, and confidence coaching, doctors, most people will say getting up early is good for your mental health. You get more done anyway. If you want to get more out of life, you get up earlier and you get to bed earlier. But I'd also add that obviously sometimes it happens to all of us. It's fine. Sometimes you need a lie-in. If you're getting up early every day, then it's probably really good to have a day where you lie in, you chill out. You can lie in bed all day because you're consistent. That's the key. It's not perfectionism. And if there is a day where you miss the alarm and you get up later, that doesn't mean your day's over. That's something I learned years ago when I overslept. I got up, and that's just a natural negative conversation from society. Oh, I've got up late, that means my whole day's ruined. No, it isn't. That's your choice. You can still get more done. I remember getting up late a long time ago. I think it was when I was on medication. The medication used to knock me out. I slept for about 12 hours. I woke up and felt good for the rest, but I felt terrible that almost the whole day was done. It was like 6 in the evening. I was like, oh man, I feel like I've wasted the day. I said, no. So I went to the gym in the evening and did an amazing workout and got other things done in my day. So if you've got this mentality, you no excuses. You'll get things done. Even if you look, I know this is great. Come to me now. For people that want to build confidence in life, all of you want to make changes, you want to break addictions, all those things. If you just gave 1 hour a day, 1 hour of effort, your life would change. So let's imagine that someone exercised for 1 hour every day. So you may think that's not a lot, it's just an hour out of 20, but it is a lot. 1 hour a day, 7 days a week, 7 hours. Let's times that by 4. 7, 14, 21, 28. 28 hours of exercise a month. And do the maths. I'm not going to try now, I'm going to get stuck. But, times that, it adds up. So you don't realise that an hour or two each day of effort adds up to a lot of effort. And that changes your life. So when the biggest excuse ever, it's the biggest one ever, and it's the crock of rubbish, it's fear speaking, it's anxiety, is I don't have time. Everyone's got time. You've always got time. People got excuses. So the real one is when people say I don't have time, what they should really say is that I've got excuses. That I should actually copyright that. It's a good business idea. You guys are going to steal it. You're welcome to it. I've got excuses because you do have time. I've had it with clients over the years. I don't have time to go to the gym. I've got a family or business. You do because you spend 5 hours wasting time on social media. You do have time. You don't make the effort. You don't want to face the fear. That's the truth. Be honest. You have to judge yourself, but be straight. So you do have time. I've had time. People have said to me, why don't you learn this or do this? I don't have time. I mean, it's conditioning. We've been programmed to believe that, and people just say that soundbite. The emotion of I don't have time is always met by anger, frustration, self-judgment, probably judging the other person, and fear. It's the emotion of fear. I don't have time, which means I'm too scared to face it. Change it. Start off with being honest. I do have time. I'm scared to do it. I can't face it right now. No problem. That's better than denying. You can work towards getting over that fear. And time management. If you follow my daily routine that I practice, I give all my clients and I put it out on all these free platforms. You have a routine, you have a structure in your day. And if you get up early, you've got more time to do things. But obviously, if you don't get up early and you sleep in, or you go work for 8-10 hours, and then you use the excuse that, well, I don't have time to go. I understand it is hard for people. Same for me. You go to work and you're knackered. Same for me. I'm running a business. It's exhausting. It's not just people think just freedom. There's freedom, but it's challenging. But I always make time to train. My whole day's packed of activities. I do 2 hours of a live stream or an hour and a half. I've got a 4-hour client session today. I will do an hour or 2 hours of training. So you can make time if you want to by scheduling your day into compartments. You know, wake up at 8, from 8 till 10 I'm going to do this, from midday to 2. It's just organisation, and all of it comes down to what we're talking about, the discipline to take action. So another tip that I give everyone, I know this will be needed, I'd say to anybody that wants to overcome anxiety and build confidence and change their life or achieve a specific goal, they're all really the same, all the same thing. If you want to change your life, you've got to set goals, because that's a goal in and of itself. You've got to get specific about what you want to change. And if you want to change your life and achieve goals, and you've got to face your anxieties and fears, and you've also got to build up the confidence and the tolerance to handle the things that you need to handle in your life and things that you want to achieve. And those things can be done by picking one thing to begin with, one habit that's positive, one habit that is anxiety reducing and confidence building, and then you build from that. I don't use a calendar in that way. I used to use it, and you can. I use a daily routine, Matthew, and I do it in my phone. I've been doing this now for quite a couple of years. So every day I call it the daily routine or daily discipline. I write down all the things that I need to get done. And I've done this so long now, it's become second nature. And then I've got sort of a time frame. So I knew this morning I was going to wake up about 7:30 a.m. And I knew I was going to do this live stream around 8:38 to about 10, an hour and a half, and I'm on point. And then after this, I've got the next thing scheduled. I've got a client at 2, from 2 till 6, and so forth. So you can do that. Again, I want to make a point of saying to everyone, you know, you can tailor things to work for you. So you can schedule it however you want, as long as you schedule, really. All of it can be done by writing it down, or you can use a schedule in Gmail. Well, I'm sure there's many things online now. There'll be apps on your phone that you can schedule and punch in. You know, you can kind of book in slots like they do in business, and I've done in my business. You know, from 8 till 10, you know, you go to the gym. From 10 to 12, you know, you work with a client. Then from 12 to 1, you have a lunch break, and so forth. You get my drift. Is simple. Oh, 100%. Primrose Hill can be anyone's friend if you let it. Well said, Timmy. And just to let all of you know as well, if you're interested in booking a mentorship program with me, I do short-term mentorship, which starts off at 1 hour. I do intermediate mentorship, which can go up to 2 hours or 6 weeks, or a couple of 2-hour sessions. And then I do long-term coaching, which can go up to anything to 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, or 3 months. So if you'd like to get started and get that help and support from me, I can help you to help yourself. I can help you with your goals, your accountability, your routine to improve anxiety, confidence changes. My email address is below all my videos. You can send me an email, I'll get back to you. Schedule a coaching call, and then we'll go from there. See if I can work with you and help you. Any of you got any more questions? So yeah, you know what I've learned, I'm still learning now from coaching others and working on my own anxieties. The more you get into a habit of building a habit, the less anxiety you'll have, and then you'll start to enjoy your life more. You know, enjoyment happens when there's less thinking. You can't enjoy life if you're overthinking all the time. It's impossible. It doesn't work. When you're overthinking too much, you're unhappy. That's a pure state of unhappiness. So of course some thinking is relevant. A little bit of overthinking is healthy. We're going to do that anyway, but you really want to reduce it, and you reduce it by habit building, routine, exercising, socializing, dieting, all the basic things that deep down everybody knows but struggles to apply at times because of the fear of facing fear, and and having that discipline, really going through the sort of healthy, positive suffering, but basically the fear of stress, the fear of facing fears and anxieties and uncomfortable emotions to get to a good place, good point on a day-to-day basis. And as I've said, just to touch on routine, when you've got that routine where you've got a business or you're going to work, and then you're socializing with friends and family, and you're going to the gym, those things make up a great life. It's very simple. You go to the gym regularly, you're consistent with your exercising, you're consistent with your dieting as much as you can, you're consistent with your relationships in your life, friends, family, etc., and you're consistent with your work and your career. You've got those things in place, you're going to be in a better place. And the more you enjoy those things, and the more you combine those three things together in any order, the better your confidence is going to be, and your mental health is going to reflect that, and your perspective, and other things are going to go better. It's a snowball effect. So if your business is going well, and your relationships and your mental health and your exercising, everything pretty much you do will generally go well, because you're in a good place and you're putting out positive vibes, and you generally get that back. Any other things that any of you want to touch on? Anything that you want to speak on, or anything that I've said? Any questions you've got? Or I always like to know what some of your long-term goals are, or is it just to continue to make progress with having less anxiety, less thinking, more confidence and joy? Well, whilst you are getting your questions ready, I'm just going to touch on a few things and just have a little chat with all of you before we slowly come to the end. I want to go up to about 90 minutes. I've really found throughout this 2 years that I've been doing running that it is life-changing. And I know when I first was hearing people do running, I always admired runners, but I always allowed my anxieties to talk me out, and I always thought, well, yeah, it would be good, but not for me right now. I'll leave the running, and I put it off. But over time, I kept hearing, I heard Ronnie O'Sullivan talk about it, how it changed his life. The greatest snooker player ever lived, and he has a lot of mental health struggles too that a lot of us have had. And he said running helped his mental health. It helped him to enjoy snooker more. And he met lovely people going out for a run, and then I saw Goggins, and I reflected on times when I did run and I did enjoy it, and I thought, I've got to start running. And of course, I love the Rocky movies. Rocky's probably the biggest inspiration for most people, me growing up, seeing him doing the running in the movies. I started this running journey at the start. It was tough. I didn't enjoy it. I wasn't fit at it, and I couldn't concentrate when I started because my mind was everywhere scattered, which is normal when you start new things. And I was, started and I wasn't very good, and I was overweight, and I kind of started and I thought, I hope I keep this up, but I'm not. I didn't quite believe in myself that I would. So I kind of started, stopped, come away from it, come back to it, and at some point it clicked. It clicked when I stopped trying to compare myself to other people or put in pressure, and I just started to go slower. There was no pressure, there was no failure. I could stop whenever I wanted. I started to enjoy it. And when I started to enjoy the running, and I started to get the rhythm right, and I started to improve my mental health and confidence, and I didn't look back, and it's continued ever since, and I'm loving it. It helps in every area. The obvious first one is running's good for fitness. You get fit when you run. You lose weight, you lose fat. Number one. Number two, it's good for mental health. Number three, it's great for confidence. Number four, it really helps you in all areas of life. Business, career, relationships, creativity, sleep pattern, diet. It has that effect. Running is that good relationship. Running is that good friend that all of us want, and hopefully we've all been fortunate to have. When you're around a good friend or a positive person, or you've been that friend, they have a positive effect on your life. Every area of your life is affected in a positive way because you've got that positive relationship. And a good mentor can also do that. A good therapist, a teacher that you've got that good relationship with. Running can do that. Running's done that for millions of people. I just thought I'd let all of you know. I'm not forcing you, I'm not judging you, I'm not saying that you have to run, but I'm saying if you want to improve your life, give it a shot. If it feels right, if it resonates, anyone can do it. And I love it. And there's no end, you build on it. Again, people say I'm not good at running. It's because you didn't put that's not true. Or I can't run for more than half an hour. Yes, you can. You build up. No, I couldn't run for 20 minutes when I started. Recently, I ran for 2 hours. I run an hour and a half most times. I had to build up to that. It took time. It took me a couple of years. Everyone's different. You can build up. So running is exactly the same building blocks. It's the same process as building a business, as overcoming anxiety, because you take action. You build a habit. You accept there's days where you enjoy it. There's days where you don't enjoy it, but you still get gratitude out. Gratitude is when you can still enjoy something when it doesn't feel that pleasurable. There's a different space between, like happiness, unhappiness, anxiety, peace. And if you stick to it, it will be good to you. And it will give you all the things that you need. It makes sense, doesn't it? Someone who runs for anybody, let's use David Goggins as an example, someone who originally didn't have much confidence and has got anxiety and challenges and struggles in every area of their life, every area to begin with. If they get good at running and they make a lot of progress, well, they've got confidence from running. Of course, it's going to be easier for them to go, right, I want to build a business. They're going to have some fears, that's normal, but they have more confidence. Why? More because they succeeded in running. If you can succeed in one thing and you can build discipline and you can gain life experience, your own perspective, you can take that perspective and apply it in any area of life that you choose. Any area. Because I couldn't travel for years because I listened to fear and anxiety. I didn't believe I could do it. I didn't have the belief system and I didn't have the courage at the time. But after gathering more experience, especially with helping other people, a lot of my clients have traveled the world, they inspired me. So getting more experience in my life eventually gave me the drive and the confidence to go and face my fear of traveling, and that's what I've done. And I've got that confidence now. I'm not scared to travel like I was. I've done it 4 times on my own. So, if you get confidence in one area, whatever that area may be, then it's easier to build confidence in other areas. It really is. So that's something that I've always wanted to explain more to people that have got anxiety, who get fixated on, I can't do it, I don't have the confidence, or I want to achieve, confidence or achieve a goal here, but I can't. I say, well, focus on one area that you enjoy, that you can have a healthy obsession with, and get good at that. And once you master that and achieve a goal in that area, you'll be able to do it in other areas. 100%, Timmy. That's what running does. It teaches breath control. You're right. Stamina, 100%. And it is the foundational tools to a good love life and all life. Absolutely. You breathe better when you're fitter, when you run more, and you think better. Your brain works better because you're exercising your brain. When you go for a run, you're not just exercising your body, you're exercising your brain, your mind. The two work hand in hand. But if you don't exercise your body, if people don't go gym for years, what happens? Their mind deteriorates more. Of course it does. Mental health and anxiety increases from someone who's not active for a long period of time in their life. Swimming is really good as well. Swimming is amazing for all the things we're talking about today. Certainly relaxation, certainly anxiety and stress reduction and depression and mental health, confidence, no question of a doubt. Swimming is a beautiful movement. It helps you to be more confident in yourself. If you stick with it, you'll communicate better. All these things, and they're all simple things that we're saying today: getting out of bed early, running, swimming, talking on the phone, selling, business, communicating, tidying, paying bills. Nothing that we've said today is rocket science, but the obstacle complicates things, and the obstacle is anxiety, overanalysis, paralysis, overthinking. That is the obstacle. The solution is action. Sound like a movie set. Action. And stamina is built one day at a time, a couple of 30 minutes a day. You know, if I said to someone, you need to build incredible amounts of stamina. You need to have stamina of Rocky Marciano, of Floyd Mayweather, or just an analogy. They'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm terrified. That's too much pressure. I can't do that. But if I said, hang on a minute, all I'm asking you to do, we'll go out together. You're going to practice 30 minutes a day. No more. We're not going to do any more. We're going to keep it very simple. We're going to do 30 minutes of running. And we're going to do that for a month. And after a month, we're going to stop. We're going to sit down over coffee and we're going to review how your stamina is. And your stamina is going to be way better than it was when it started. Why? Because you did 30 days in a row, 30 minutes every day. And then we're going to up it. We're going to put 30 minutes to 45. And we're going to build from there. Oh yeah, amen to that to me. Leonardo, good to see you. Running is the best sport every day. It requires meditation at the same time when you run. 100%. I'm glad you said that because you are correct. That's so true. So that's the great thing about running. It's also a meditation. When you run, you meditate. You know, you get into a good space if you stick with it and you keep going. And very important, you don't compare yourself to other people. You do not judge others. You don't judge yourself. You just enjoy the run. You keep making progress. And there's no end to how much progress anyone can make with running, anxiety, confidence, business, in any area. If they commit it to daily discipline, the daily habit. So I'm only asking, I want you to ask yourself a couple of hours every day, 2 hours within that. Work on your goals and your tasks and all the above. Remember, where you start today is not where you're going to finish tomorrow, next week. People get into that. We all do sometimes. I have that thought pattern. It's human, where we go, I'm always going to be here. No, I'm scared. I'm depressed. That's not true. If you keep making effort, it's impossible. You're going to change. You're going to grow. We're almost coming to an end now. I'm going to complete what I said, which is 90 minutes, because I'm almost out of stamina and I've got to do a workout today and a client. It's been amazing so far. So yeah, I really like to stress today, for anyone on this stream, you know, mastering the mornings will build the foundation to build a happier life. And we've covered a lot today. It's been great, which I wanted to do. We've gone into explaining the value of how a simple daily practice can give you the tools to change any area of your life. And that's the ability to get up early and get out of bed. That's pretty much it. When you've got anxiety or when you're feeling good. And I also forgot to mention, even though I have said it a lot, and it's worth saying, practice gratitude. I know it's difficult. Again, it gets easier with habit. When you wake up in the morning, just say, I'm grateful to be alive and get up, or one thing that you're grateful for. Or sometimes, you know, like today, I may not have said the gratitude, but it was expressed. We all had a great time today. We're all grateful, great bunch of people, great progress made, all help one another. I appreciate the support. And you will go away today, and even if your perspective has improved, or it's reminded you of, you know, things that you want to do more, and this will help a lot of people. Obviously, I'm going to cover more videos. I'm not just going to do every video on morning anxiety, but I wanted to do quite a few videos to really explain this and help people to build this discipline. And we will go into other areas of life, obviously. Any final questions before we head off? It's almost reached the 90-minute mark. Again, appreciate everyone coming on. Do like, share, subscribe. Good luck with practicing your daily discipline. And as always, if anybody wants to book a mentoring session or a program, send me an email and I'll get back to you and have a chat and see if I can work with you and find out what your specific goals are, and then we'll go from there. No last questions? All right, man. Appreciate all of you. I will speak to you very soon. Probably tomorrow we'll be going live again. Possibly later on, most likely tomorrow. If not later on or tomorrow, it'll be another one. It will maintaining consistency. All right. Speak to all of you soon. Have a great day. Thank you. Thanks again. All right. Bye.